Mr. Saint-Martin, welcome to Kazakhstan.
Thank you.
Welcome to Kazinform News. We appreciate your time and you coming here. Let's jump right in. And my first question considers the development of relations between France and Kazakhstan, and what, in your opinion, what priorities do you see in economic and budgetary cooperation with Kazakhstan right now?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. We have a very exceptional relationship between France and Kazakhstan. Our both presidents know each other very well. They have met every year since 2022. Twice, President Tokayev came to Paris, and Emmanuel Macron came here in 2023.
Yes.
Of course, this is very important to strengthen a bilateral relationship when you have two presidents that want the same thing, meaning to diversify partnership, and Central Asia and Kazakhstan in particular is a priority for France. So, business-wise, from our company perspective, of course, it opens roads.
Yes.
And there are many opportunities. And I came with more than 50 French companies, which is a record.
Yes.
This is the most important French delegation that have never been here in Astana. And of course, we are benefiting from all this great momentum, which is the Astana Forum. And today we are very proud because it's a French Day. The 28th, both presidents wanted it to be the French Day, and we welcome with the Prime Minister this morning, French company that are willing to invest here in Kazakhstan.
Yeah, and talking about tomorrow's Astana International Forum, in your opinion, what do you expect of this forum, and what significance does it hold to the international business community?
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Kazakhstan because this international forum has become, in only a few years, a very well-known and very impactful business forum.
Yes.
And of course, for French company now, it's a no-brainer. They have to go to Astana Forum if they want to make business in this region. And it's not only about Kazakhstan, it's also about the Central Asia region, and why not further? It's about diversifying all our business, and we are talking about very different sectors. We are talking about transport, we are talking about industry, we are talking about energy, but also about cooperation in mining, for example, or in healthcare. And it talks about cooperation, strengthening partnerships. So for us, it's a no-brainer, we have to be there.
Yes. And in your opinion, how does France assess the economic potential of Central Asia and Kazakhstan in particular in context of diversifying supplies of critical resources such as rare earth metals?
Well, first of all, we are not thinking about that now.
Yes.
The mining industry is a very well-known industry for France here in Kazakhstan. We have Orano, for example, and we have a long history here. But what is true is that we have to cooperate more about, for example, rare earths or other critical raw materials. Yeah. So we have set up a cooperation, and we are financing €500,000 about how we can cooperate more between our two national agencies. In France, it is a BRGM, which is working with your national agency to see how we can cooperate. It's about training, it's about cooperation, it's about mapping, and it's about being able tomorrow to let French companies work here in Kazakhstan about critical raw materials. But of course, it's a huge and key topic because it's a question tomorrow of sovereignty when we are talking about critical raw materials. And it means a lot that Kazakhstan and France are able to cooperate when it's about sovereignty. It means that we trust each other. It means that we design the future of the century as partners. So it's not only business, it's also geostrategy.
And talking about the French companies actively opening here in Kazakhstan, how actively does the French government support its businesses in Kazakhstan? Does it has a specific strategy or economic presence in the region through state mechanisms?
Well, we do what we call economic diplomacy. My job as a Minister for Foreign Trade is to be the head of the business delegation, is to make them enter the market thanks to contact we can have with ministers, of course, but also with other business people and key people. We do that with our own business organization, which is MEDEF International, and we do that with a whole team, public and private, which is called the Team France Export. We have some public agencies such as Business France, but also the Chamber of Commerce and Industry here in Kazakhstan. It is all together representing both interest, Kazakh interest and French interest, that we can foster export and investment in Kazakhstan, because both are important. It's about how we can export more products. For example, maybe you know Danone products, it's from France, but also when you have a Total that is investing in Kazakhstan, it means that we can do both, exporting and investing.
And given the global competition for resources, is France planning to revise its budgetary priorities in their areas of sustainable development and green energy?
France and Europe are not giving up about environmental ambition. First, because we have values and we stick with our values, but also because we want to share it and we want to make it an advantage. When it's about investment, it's important to know that when you invest in Europe, for example, you invest where environmental norms and law are the most ambitious. So we won't give up about environment and what we have to do about climate change, for example. And when it's about questioning and wondering if we have to choose between growth and environment, we say both are possible together. It's just a question of industrial and investment priorities.
And talking about the Global Gateway Initiative of the European Union, are there any forms of financial or technical cooperation with Kazakhstan being discussed in Paris right now?
Well, we are supporting all the Global Gateway, which is once again a European initiative.
Yes.
It's about financing, you're right. It's also about how we make better cooperations together. For example, between European Union and Central Asia, what can be done in terms of maybe tomorrow more doing business more easily, cutting red tapes, breaking some barriers. This is diversifying on the most efficient way. So you have to put some public investment. You have noticed that the world, from a trade perspective, has changed now for the last months. So as it has changed, we have to adapt ourselves. And it is the role of the European Union to seek and to look forward to creating and making new business and trade mechanism with other parts of the world, and Central Asia is one of them and is one of our priorities.
And the current global geopolitical situation is challenging, as you said. And how does France manage to strike a balance between social support and the need to reduce the deficit under strict budgetary constraints?
Well, we have to do both. We have to stick with our ambition in terms of budget, meaning reduce public deficit. But we also have to do all the efforts that are possible to create growth. At the end of the day, what is most important is how you create GDP growth, how you create value, how you create job, because this will be the first answer to the former issue, which was public deficit. So the geopolitical situation now, once again, changed the priorities. The former obvious market for Europe, which was the United States, which was in a way China, depending on which sector you're talking about. We have to change our mindset. We have to diversify our partnership. And once again, a country with such a great GDP growth potential, with the third of its population that is young, meaning it's a country for tomorrow, we have to get closer. It's not about choosing between budget and between business. The more you do business, the more you create value, the more you create GDP growth, the more you resolve your public deficit issue.
And what's in your opinion is the strategy with this new tariffs imposed by the Trump administration? What do you think are the prospects of that?
Well, I think this is a wrong answer to a real diagnosis. I think a trade war will be a disaster for everyone. And I think the first victim of a trade war would be the USA. When you see all the recession effect, all the inflation effect it could create, I think it's a disaster for everyone. So we have to negotiate, and we have to find a way. This is the European Commission's job now, and France fully supports the European Commission to find the best way to, at the end of this period that will end at the beginning of July, make everyone responsible. And we have to find the good deal that doesn't affect our industry, that doesn't affect American inflation, and that can be in everyone's interest. And I think it's possible. We have to also tell everyone that the European Union is a strength and has some argument also if we need to retaliate at the time. But this is not what we want. We want a positive agenda with the United States, exactly as we want a positive agenda with the rest of the world, because at the end, this is what creates values. And I think the last decades really showcased that when you just free barriers and when you let company do business, it works, it creates value, it creates job, it creates purchasing power in every country.
Yes, and going back to France, we all informed and know that there were prolonged protests in France over pension reforms. And has the process for adopting such reforms changed since then? And how is the French government currently approaching or planning to approach such decisions in terms of budget communication with the public?
Well, we have a very strong social dialogue culture, and we listen to unions, we listen to people, we listen to citizens.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, there is a National Assembly and a Parliament that pass bills, and this is exactly what happened in 2023 with the pension reform. What is the most important is that why do we need to reform pension? It's because we have a very specific welfare model, and if we want to protect it, we have to reform it. And I perfectly know, as a former MP, that a great majority in France perfectly know that we have to reform to protect our welfare state system.
And before we conclude our discussion, our interview, is there anything you want to add from your side and with topics that we haven't covered?
Well, nothing to add in particular, except the fact that I'm very impressed by all the good mood I can feel in your country. Today, I had the chance to celebrate the beginning of the construction of the future French International High School. From the very kindergarten till 18 years old, with a French baccalaureate, means a lot to us. And this is maybe the best demonstration we can have of our deeper friendship and the fact that we want to write the future together. So this is what I wanted to add.
All right. Thank you very much for your time, and good luck in your future work.
Thank you.